Okay, so we're going to do debt now. We're going to cover debt. How do we get into debt? Borrowing to do something with the money. Whether that something is positive or negative, it's borrowing. So basically going ahead and taking or using money that you don't have access to do something. But there are certain dangers with that. Can you think of any dangers? Let's say you buy an asset or something you think is an asset, and then you find out that the resale value of what you bought has gone down. Maybe you buy a printer that you decide to borrow so that you can resell, but then you find out that the value has gone down. Isn't that a danger? So then you end up having a value of an asset or something that is less than what you owe. And then there's a stress that comes from borrowing. Anybody has ever experienced debt? You guys are young, maybe not. Yeah? Okay. And who has borrowed money from a friend? Let me just see, by a show of hands. No, don't be shy. Just raise your hand. Okay. How was that experience? Yes. Did you struggle to repay? Or you repaid back in good time as you had? Sorry? Repaying is always a struggle. And so then if it's a struggle, then you end up having strained relationships, right? Because now this person, every time I see them, if it's at church or at school or at the office, it's like, oh God, I haven't paid you yet. And so it causes strained relationships, doesn't it? And then the other danger of it is that you're so consumed by this debt that you have that you actually stop giving, or even tithing if you're a tither, if you're a Christian. You stop tithing because you're just like, by the way, I need all my resources to go towards repaying this debt. And that's not a good thing. And then, just those monthly payments not giving you flexibility to do other things, and being a blessing to somebody else. But I think debt is not all bad. Debt is not all bad. And I think that's what you were trying to allude to, is that when you borrow with the aim of buying an asset that will either grow in value, well, typically grow in value, or bring in a cash flow every so often, then you're sure that this thing I am investing in will repay back the loan, or I'll have time to be able to repay back the loan. So it needs to have cash flows and increase in value so that I can actually sell this thing and be able to repay the loan. However, when interest comes into the equation, then it's a bad thing to take on debt. Even if you are getting into debt for assets, you need to be careful. There are some certain assets I would never recommend for you to go into debt. This is what an asset is. An asset is something that brings money in. When you have a car, it is constantly taking money out. Whether that money is fuel, whether that money is tire changes, service, it's constantly drawing money out. And on top of that, not only is it drawing money out, what's happening to its value? If you buy a new car from DT Dobby or from Toyota and you drive it out, who knows by how much value falls? By entering the car, turning the ignition on and driving out of the dealership. Do you know how much? Take a guess. No. 0.5. I beg your pardon? 0.5%. 0.5 million. Oh, it depends on the cost of the car. Yeah. 30%. Is that an investment? I mean, is that an asset? And so my advice is, as you get into debt, the kind of asset you will get into debt for is an asset that can easily be sold, an asset that's growing in value, and an asset that's bringing in cash flow as opposed to taking money out. Are we together?